Good evening and welcome back to this week's section of Dialogue Houston. If you've been with us for the first part of the show, we have a fascinating conversation with our guest this week looking at the recession, but from a positive perspective. What we can do in this era for training, for retooling, for skills, for acquisitions, for looking at your human capital and investing perhaps in them at a time when it really gives you a chance to step back and do that assessment. We've had a series of wonderful people joining us here. Joe Heller on the first part, Eric and Karen for the second part. And now I'm going to have Joe introduce the two new persons who have joined us for this segment of the panel. So, Joe, welcome again.
Thanks, Larry. It's great to be here.
All right. Tell us who's with us this time.
Well, you know, the last segment we had two wonderful business strategists. Now we've got two operators who are in the trenches to share some insights with the studio audience, exactly, and the audience out there, exactly what they're doing in order to not only survive but thrive in this challenging economy. To my immediate left, I've got Dee Nichols. Dee is the owner of Unishippers. And then to her left, I've got James Marcel, who is the managing partner of Reliant Leasing Systems. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, Dolph. Good to have you here. So tell us from your end of the spectrum and looking at this, where do you see things? How are things going? What do you see coming up in the months to come?
Well, it's been nice in Houston because so far, because of the oil industry, our business did okay, but we are seeing some slides, and in our office, we actually insource other franchisees around the country, and they have struggled mightily because of the recession, and so actually it's helped our business grow because they've called us up and said, will you do our customer service for us and the back office for us? And so we did bring Karen in to make sure that that was a profitable side of our business to keep continuing in that direction of insourcing for other Unishipper franchises.
Well, that's great. You're talking about Karen Chen, B2B CFO, was on
Right,
the earlier segment.
right.
Well, that's great. So you're seeing an opportunity really to consolidate other businesses and take over their back office functionality.
Right. Perfect. That's exactly what we're doing. Yeah.
Interesting.
So we've had a huge opportunity just in the last few months. Our phone's been ringing off the wall with those.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. James?
Well, what we've seen in the marketplace is, and being also in the transportation space, we are a lessor, seller, and renter of semi-trailers to the transportation industry. And our industry it seems like we're impacted first on both ends. When things start to slow down, we start to feel it first, and as things start to recover, we start to feel that first as well. So far this year, we've been a little bit behind plan, and we have been able to see the market from various segments. We have offices here in Houston, Dallas, and in Chicago. Our Texas office, our Houston office rather, has done fairly well on the lease and rental side of things, and Dallas has done okay on the sales side versus Chicago, which is highly tied to the auto industry. They've suffered a little bit more this year. But or at least over the last couple of weeks, actually, we've seen our quote levels go up. They've been elevated. So we feel that as long as we can, sustain what's actually presented to us right now, and hopefully capture some of the business that's in our pipeline, that we'll do okay for the remainder of this year.
And most of your business with corporations, not individuals. Not
individuals.
Not owner. Okay.
Right.
Drivers. Okay.
Primarily corporations.
And I think we're talking in the green room. You're actually expanding into different product lines to capture some areas that you weren't necessarily in before during the recession. Is that right?
That is correct.
It's a creative time.
It is a creative time, and that's how we look at it as well.
All right.
We think that there are some areas that haven't really been tapped, and right now with this economy, it's really creating other mechanisms or other avenues for us to go into. And one of those areas is we're looking at managing businesses that are comparable to ours in other spaces around the country, in other markets rather around the country. And this will allow us, as we see it, an opportunity to grow and expand our business with very limited resources. So we feel that will be a very good niche for us going into the upcoming years.
So there's a lot of positive things happening in this environment, in this economy, if one really seizes the opportunity.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a famous quote about adulthood, which I think really fits at this time, rather than the sky's falling. Adulthood means seizing the opportunity for creativity and initiative in the place of complaining about what cannot be done. And I think it really is that time to do that. It is really taking that positive, proactive approach, looking forward, not only short-term, mid-term, but also long-term, and trying to reposition oneself to be able to capture both what is there now, but what one can see coming, because it is going to change. It is going to come.
Well, we've
Absolutely.
decided to follow the money.
Right.
And if government is going to be investing, where our shipping side of our business has picked up has been in the construction industry. And so we have got, some of our sales reps have now become experts in shipping concrete, brick, all of those things that now we've gotten a lot of contracts with businesses that have been contracted by the government to start work on these highways and the infrastructure. And so we have really picked up that side of our business also. And particularly since we are a minority-owned business, then we can fulfill their obligations in that respect while still being able to ship with nationwide companies. So.
Well, and that's great. As a matter of fact, it's funny you say that, follow the money. I've got a big sign in our office that I put up when everybody started getting a little worried. Follow the money, because
Right.
there is money out there.
Absolutely.
It's time for creativity and innovation, because that's usually what businesses is all about, and those who are the most creative and innovative, the ones who survive and go forward. Unfortunately, I know time went all too quickly, but let me give you both a quick little second to give us a closing comment of what you think you see in the next few months coming.
Well, for me, in our business, we're sort of like we're following the money as well. What we see in the upcoming months are opportunities from the stimulus package. We feel that we will be able to capitalize on that rather, by retooling our business. And we feel that that will be a great market for us, a great opportunity for us as well, capitalizing on some of these stimulus opportunities.
Absolutely. And we are, as a matter of fact, I'd like to speak with you a little more, because I think we would like to upgrade our personnel. I think there's a lot of talent out there, and Unishippers would like to tap into that and upgrade our personnel in our office so that we've got the cream of the crop out there. I think customer service is what it's all about. So.
Great. And for me, I think, with all four of our panelists today, Larry, it just comes down to thinking out of the box, being creative. I mean, in these crazy times, now it's the time to do and apply creative strategies to leapfrog over the competition that they won't be able to catch up to you for the next 5 or 10 years.
I think it's important that we try to, in our time given today, the context for both the first segment and the second segment, to look at this opportunity. And I want to stress that it is an opportunity.
It is.
And it's a golden
Absolutely.
opportunity in many ways. And there are funds, as we heard from Eric and others in the first segment, there are funds and money available. We just have to think creative, innovative. We have to seek it. We have to go to new sources. We have to explore, do our homework, do our research, and it's there. It's there for the taking. And to help us, if we want to look at it from a couple of perspectives, we talk about training. I want to give you the number for Houston Community College's corporate college if you want to take the opportunity to do training. That's on the air now, 713-718-5455, 713-718-5455. Please give them a call. And if you want to do an assessment, a fascinating tool to help you look at your people, understand your people better, the Berkman International tool really gives you that opportunity. And you reach them at 713-623-2760, 713-623-2760, an opportunity for you to really look at a tool and an instrument that allows you to give an assessment of the talent, skills, of the opportunities, of the passion, of where people really should be applying their energy in a more creative way. It's a great way to help you do that. I also want to mention upcoming things real quick. Coming up on the 15th of this month, April 15th, is the Greater Houston Women's Chamber of Commerce Women's Conference. And that conference is a very important one that you should avail yourselves of. It's there on your screen now. April 15th at the Westin Galleria Hotel. A fascinating conference. But yes, there is a Greater Houston Chamber of Commerce for Women, Greater Houston Women's Chamber of Commerce, been in existence a few years now. And they really focus on women's issues and business issues, but in a very, very positive, proactive way. I met some individuals and worked with them on this conference. They really are a very, very positive, optimistic, future-orientated group of people, and I think you'll find the conference fascinating. Again, it's April 15th, coming up to Westin Galleria. That number is 713-782-3777. Next week on the show, we're going to be talking about Lemonade Day. Lemonade Day is a national day that is really looking at how we can help young people become entrepreneurs. Lemonade Day is going to be a fascinating show. The event is actually on May 3rd. You'll be hearing a lot about it in the weeks to come to help people and kids understand how entrepreneurship works, how business works. We're going to have actual lemonade stand here in the studio and parent station.